guys, I'm Gasha. Welcome to the channel, to my wonderland. It is coffee time, and today I want to talk to you about all the releases that are happening in this month of January 2019. So I only put together 27 because it's always so hard to make a list and only pick like 10 or something like that. I might have to do that in the future because there are so many books that I want to talk to you about and I don't want this video to be super long. So I'm just gonna very quickly mention when the book was released or is going to be released this month and just roughly what it is about, and maybe I can bring you some new books that you're interested in that you want to check out this year. On the 1st of January, we have The Similars by Rebecca Hanover. I'm really excited about this one because it is about clones. So we are in a world where there is this academy where people that go there are clones, and there is a main character that loses her best friend, and then that person seems to have been reincarnated in a clone, or at least it looks exactly like her deceased friend. That is all I know about it. And I'm super intrigued because anything that has to do with sci-fi and clones, I'm down for it. On the 8th of January, we are getting The Wicked King by Holly Black, and I know everybody has been expecting this sequel to The Cruel Prince. I still have not read The Cruel Prince, but I really want to read it. I really need to order this book and read this book because I really want to know what all the fuss is about and see if it lives up to the hype. Also on the 8th of January, we get The Girl King by Mimi Yu, and this is also one of the ones that I want to check out because it is about a powerful female. It is an Asian-inspired fantasy about two sisters that end up being rivals. On the 8th of January, we're getting White Stag by Cara Barbieri. This is the first book in a new series, and we're following the story of a girl, and she is the last daughter of this family, and all her sisters have been raised to be this perfect lady, but she has been raised to hunt, track, and kill, and apparently she then has to go and work for monsters, and she finds herself trying to figure it out if she's becoming more of a monster than a human. Then we have one of my most expected releases of 2019, also coming out on the 8th of January, and that is Slayer by Kirsten White. And this book is supposed to be based on the Buffy the Vampire Slayer universe, and this is a universe where Buffy is still alive, but we're following a different character. I am super stoked, so ready for it. My body is ready because last year I rewatched the whole Buffy series and now I'm ready for this. Also on the 8th of January, a lot of releases. We are getting In an Absent Dream by Shona McGuire, and this is book 4 on the Wayward Children series, and I am super excited for this one. I just finished book 3 in December, and even though it was not my favorite, I am super pumped and ready to continue with the series. Also on the 8th, we have Even If I Fall by Abigail Johnson. We follow the story of Brooke, and her whole life collapses and changes after her brother confesses of killing his best friend, and then they're basically the pariah. Nobody wants to have anything to do with them, so we take it from there, and it sounds pretty interesting. Then we have Match Me If You Can by Tiana Smith, also on the 8th of January. We follow the story of this girl that really doesn't want to have anything to do with boys, but homecoming is coming, and her best friend, it is a great matchmaker, and she even has, I believe, a website or an app for this, and she ends up matching her with a boy, but then she gets asked out by another one, and then she has to decide who to choose. On the 10th of January, we have An Anonymous Girl by Greer Hendricks, and I love the premise of this one. It is this girl, she signs up for like a psychological study or something like that, and when she gets there and she starts doing the tests, she soon realizes that something's off, that the tests are getting weirder and weirder, and probably this is not what she thought it was, and it sounds super intriguing and I can't wait. Also on the 10th of January, we have Two Can Keep a Secret by Karen M. McManus, and this is by the writer of One of Us is Lying. It's not supposed to be a sequel, but the covers do match, which is aesthetically pleasing for me. 2 teenagers are dead, 2 crimes are unsolved, and the killer claims that he's coming back. Then we have The Gilded Wolves by Roshani Chokski. I hope that was right. And it is coming out on the 15th of January. It is a book set in Paris in the 1800s, and we are following a treasure hunter. And he is being hired by the Order of Babel to find an artifact for them. And this sounds like 110, 200% my jam. I love this kind of books, so I'm definitely gonna be picking this one up. Also on the 15th of January we have Echo North by Joanna Ruth Meyer. It is a romantic epic adventure of this girl whose father is missing, and they start looking for him and looking for him. 6 months later she finds her dad in the woods, but he's already half frozen. But by his side there is this wolf, and he talks to her. And she remembers this wolf because she remembers seeing him when she was a kid, and it apparently attacked her back then. And this sounds like a fantastic opening for a book. Then we have Our Year of Maybe by Rachel Lynn Solomon, and this also comes out on the 15th of January. We're following the story of Sophie, and she's a choreographer, and her best friend is a pianist, and basically he is sick and he needs a transplant, he needs a kidney transplant, and she has always had this secret crush on him, and both of their lives change when she finds out that she's actually a match for him and she could be his donor. Then we have The Dreamers by Karen Thompson Walker, also coming out on the 15th of January. This book sounds suspiciously similar to Sleeping Beauties by Stephen and Owen King, even though I have not read the book yet, but the premise is similar. There is this small town and a girl falls asleep and she doesn't wake up, and no matter what they do they cannot get her to wake up, and then after that another one falls asleep, and then another one, until basically the town calls quarantine. And that's how it starts, and it's very similar to the plot of Sleeping Beauty. So Sleeping Beauties is in my 2019 TBR, so I'm definitely going to be reading that, and then I'll see if I read this one not too far after that to see the similarities between the books. Also on the 15th we have No Exit by Taylor Adams. This is a thriller about a girl that leaves college to visit her mom because her mom is dying, and she gets caught in a blizzard storm and she needs to stop the car, and she stops at a highway rest station and she finds there 4 strangers. Then she gets a call and she goes outside for better reception, and she finds a girl tied, like kidnapped, and the back of a van that is parked there. So this is how the thriller starts, and it sounds actually pretty interesting. Then we have The Vanishing Stair by Maureen Johnson on the 22nd of January, and this is the second book after Truly Devious, and I really want to read Truly Devious because I've heard from some people that it was really good. Some people put it on their best books of 2019 videos, so now I'm really intrigued to read it and see if it's that good. The first book is based on an academy, kind of like a school for people that, you know, are very intelligent and have all of these talents, or that's what I got from the synopsis. And basically the owner of this academy and the wife, they just get kidnapped, and then there is this murder that is leaving notes as Truly Devious, and they have to figure it out who is doing these murders, and basically that's it. And it is a YA thriller, and I'm super intrigued to see how it is. Then we get Circle of Shadows by Evelyn Skye, also on the 22nd of January, and this is a new fantasy series. We follow the story of some group of people that have been chosen by the gods, and they are called Taigas, and basically they are being trained with magic and the fighting arts, and it sounds really intriguing and interesting. Why are these people being chosen by the gods? What is their purpose as well? I don't know, it sounds very intriguing, and it is a new fantasy series that, you know, if you love fantasy, you might want to check this one out. Then we have Only a Breath Apart by Katie McGarry, and also comes out on the 22nd of January. We're following the story of this boy that on freshman year he froze this girl because he wanted to get his grandma's inheritance. And then on the other side we have the girl, and she wants to get away from her controlling father, but for that she's going to have to trust the guy that broke her heart. So I guess this is gonna be a very interesting kind of romance and a little bit dramatic and heartbreaking, so if you're into that you might want to check this one out. Then we have All Is Fair by Dee Garretson, and also this one is on the 22nd of January. We are in the 1900s, and this girl is being sent to kind of like a boarding school where they teach you how to behave and be a lady. Boring, basically. And then she gets a telegram with like some sort of like mysterious code, like secret code, and she embarks herself in this adventure trying to figure it out, what it is, what it means. And I thought that was really cool, a really cool, interesting, premise for a book, and also one of the ones that I am interested in getting this year. Then we have Ship of Smoke and Steel by Django Wexler, and this one also comes out on the 22nd of January. It is the start of an epic fantasy, and we're following the story of this girl that is helping criminals because she needs the money to take care of her family. But then they discover that she has this magical power, and the government calls her to send her in an impossible mission. Her mission is to steal Soliton, and this is a ghost ship that everybody that has tried to get it has never come back alive. Sounds like fun. So it also sounds very intriguing and interesting, and this is, like I said, a beginning of a series or trilogy, I'm not sure, but also something new coming to us with a very interesting start of our story. Also on the 22nd we have No One Here Is Lonely by Sarah Everett. This is the heartbreaking story of a girl that loses her best friend and her crush at the same time, and she feels devastated. But before her crush died, Will, he set up a kind of an account in a company that is called Good Company, and basically they upload videos and files, so you have kind of like this companion that you can talk to, and that is what she does to kind of deal with the situation. Then we have Someday We Will Fly by Rachel Dwoskin, and this is also released on the 22nd of January. It is a coming-of-age story based on World War II and in Shanghai, where the Jews were sent because it was the only place that was accepting the Jews that were trying to get away. We follow the story of a family of Jews in 1940 in Poland, and basically they have no visa, and when you didn't have a visa back then, the only way that you could get out and fled the country was going to Shanghai, because it was the only place that was accepting Jews without a visa. We follow the story of a 15-year-old, and her mom disappears in Poland, and then she has to go alone with her father and her sister to Shanghai. Then we have A Curse So Dark and Lonely by Bridget Kemmerer, and this one is coming out on the 25th of January. And this is a contemporary fantasy. It is a retelling of Beauty and the Beast, about this guy that can only be freed by true love because he's cursed. So it is a Beauty and the Beast retelling, and I have not read one of those in a long time, so I might try to pick this one up. Then we have Death Prefers Blondes by Caleb. I'm not gonna attempt his last name, I'm sorry. This one comes out on the 29th of January, and it is about a girl that has this kind of double life. Like, during the day she deals with paparazzi, and during the night she helps in robberies and things like that, until something goes wrong. Also on the 29th of January we have The Love and Lies of Ruxana Ali by Sabina Khan. And we're following the story of a Muslim teenager, and she has trouble to talk to her parents about the fact that she's gay, and she does have a girlfriend, but she always has to keep it in secret until one day they get caught. So this explores the situation in a Muslim family that are, they have very strict religion, and then their daughter being gay. Then we have The Lonely Dead by April Henry, and this one also comes out on the 29th of January. This is a YA thriller about a girl that can talk and see the dead, and she finds her ex-best friend that has been murdered, and she's kind of helping the police to figure it out what happened. And we've come to the end, the last book, and also released on the 29th, it is The Cerulean by Emily Ewing. It is a new fantasy duology, and it is about this town that it is above the clouds, and they have another world down, and basically they are just tied to it. And so there is this girl that, she's dreaming on a day where they can cut the tie and go move away and find a different planet. But then one day she has been chosen to sacrifice to break the tie, and then she gets into conflict because she doesn't understand why this is happening, and she basically feels betrayed by her own people. So these were 27 releases for the month of January that I wanted to mention, and maybe there are some there that I've mentioned that you guys are interested in. Thanks so much for watching. Give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. All my other social media is listed down below for you guys, and I hope to see you all in the next coffee time. Bye!